Welcome back to Butterfly Effect Tarot. My name is Lorraine, and today's topic is regarding what do others secretly wonder about you? There are three groups, and the timestamps for each group will be in the description box in the comment section below. If the readings and messages resonate, please feel free to like and subscribe, and you can let me know in the comments if you choose. For all of my subscribers and returning viewers, as always, thank you. I appreciate you. For newer viewers, welcome. And if interested after this video, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into each one of your messages. Welcome to your reading group one regarding what do others secretly wonder about you? So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We'll go ahead and highlight the cards that came through and then we'll get into the reading. So the first card out is the Ten of Wands followed by the Empress. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles followed by the Queen of Wands. And then the final card out is the Seven of Wands. Bottom of the deck energy is the Page of Wands. So a very interesting reading here. You are coming through as somebody that is very, very attractive. How you see yourself, I can't speak on, but based off of what I'm getting here, you have the Queen of Wands, which is the most sexiest and attractive queen in tarot. And then you have the Empress, who is the most attractive feminine archetype in tarot overall. So for this group, people secretly wonder what you're like when you get angry. There's something here about you kind of operating in this Empress energy, maybe most of the time in this Knight of Pentacles energy, where you are very calm, very nurturing, very loving, very patient, very demure, very much reserved and graceful. But people may wonder what you're like when you're in that Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands. So when people have crossed your boundaries, when people have pissed you off, what is your temper like? I do feel like people may wonder, obviously, masculine energies. This could be feminine energies too. But I do feel like there are people who wonder what you're like in the bedroom, right? Because the Empress is usually a little bit more reserved and demure and graceful, like I said. Even though she does embody the Queen of Wands energy as well, very sensual and attractive, her energy gives a bit more wholesome, whereas the Queen of Wands gives the opposite. So people may wonder what you're like when it's time to be in a relationship, when you're behind the closed doors. How do you perform? How do you show up? How vastly different is your Empress energy when you're actually in that mode and that realm of environment? I feel like others wonder, how do you have so much on your plate with this Ten of Wands, burdens, extra responsibilities? Some of you could be parents, you could be doing this on your own, or you could just have a lot of responsibilities or people that rely on you. And I feel like people are wondering, how do you do it and make it look so easy? Because the Wands is usually, if you're dealing with a Ten of Wands, you could look very worn out, you could complain a lot, or it could just be a very stressful situation. So people may wonder if you do have moments of stress, but on the outside, you don't appear to have that energy. It seems like, again, you give this graceful, kind of easygoing, careless energy, like you don't have a care in the world. There's a lot of free flowing energy coming through. But again, with this Ten of Wands and the Seven of Wands, people are aware, at least some of these people are aware, that you do have certain conflicts and struggles in your life, especially if these are people we're tapping into that are more closer to you, not the strangers that see you as you're kind of walking by, but maybe people closer to you are wondering, how do you look so well put together? Some people may wonder, what do you do for work? How do you make money? Especially with this Empress energy, if you're kind of a homemaker, or if you don't work a traditional 9 to 5, people may wonder, how are you growing your funds? How are you looking like you have so much money? How do the people around you that rely on you look so well put together and taken care of? You look like you have money, but people don't know how. They don't know how you're doing it. There's a lot of extroverted energy here, but I'm kind of getting the vibe that you are a bit private and defensive about your personal affairs. Because with the Seven of Wands and Queen of Wands, this is also giving me the energy of somebody that tends to be very guarded and very assertive when it comes to keeping people out of your personal life, whether this is your dating life, your finances, your own, business ideas. Some people may know with this Knight of Pentacles and Queen of Wands that you have like a side hustle, or you have something that is creative and unconventional that you do for work, but they may not know how much money you make from it, or they may not know how you're making money from it, right? Like they may not know exactly what this creative endeavor is. I'm also getting, for some of you, people may think or wonder if you have masculine energies that are giving you money, right? Because they're seeing you as this Queen of Wands, very sexy, very attractive, very alluring. But with the Seven of Wands, they may feel like there's a lot of competition for you. They may feel like there's people constantly in your DMs, there's people constantly throwing themselves at you, that are attracted to you, and that you're benefiting from this with this Knight of Pentacles energy. Like they're just giving you money and seeing you as this investment, as somebody that's alluring and attractive that they want to build something with. So they're seeing you as somebody where it's easy for you to potentially have a what is it, like a sugar daddy, or just different sources of income from different individuals that are competing for your attention. Doesn't mean that's what the case is, but we're seeing how they're seeing you. We're speaking about how they're looking at you, and they're seeing you as very desirable, somebody that could have people competing for them, even if you don't. Because again, there's something here where people may also wonder, what is your dating life like? Right? Because on the outside, for some of you, if you do secretly have a relationship or somebody you're talking to, people on the outside or that know you don't know that. Yeah, Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You get very free spirited. And the Page of Wands is also an energy behind the scenes. Knight of Wands would be like action that you take. But with the Page of Wands, this is like where you're in the planning stage, you're in the kind of building up stage. People wonder what you're like, what you do for hobbies, what do you do for fun? What do you do in your free time when you're not in this nurturing, loving energy and taking care of your responsibilities, working, or just, again, doing what you're supposed to do? What do you do for fun? This makes me feel like some of you are a bit closed off, but there's something about the way people see you as being very attractive, and very enticing and desirable, that they're wondering also, why are you okay with not having an emperor, right? People are seeing you as an empress, but they're also seeing you as the Queen of Wands, which means that they're seeing you as somebody who could have a happy dynamic or have people that would want to be your emperor, but you seem very much happily single with this Queen of Wands and this Seven of Wands and this Page of Wands. You seem very happy in your own element, taking care of your responsibilities and really focusing on your own dreams, your own goals. And people may wonder, why do you want to be in this energy? Why do you want to be single? Why do you want to do it on your own when you can have people that you can have a person that's taking care of you? You can have a person that, is there as a support system. There's also giving me the energy that you kind of show up in this Empress energy where you are very loving and nurturing, but there's also a complete separate identity that you may have, right? So, for example, sometimes the Empress can give this energy of like soccer mom, if you, I guess this is just an example because I can't really come up with the correct way I'm trying to describe this. But you could, the Empress sometimes is a feminine energy that can be a mother archetype. And so somebody that can give very wholesome and very much somebody that is attached to the role of being loving and nurturing. And that's their identity overall. But with you, there's also this complete separate energy that you give. While being the Empress, you still give very much this independent, kind of almost like you have your own identity that's not attached to your role as a caretaker, to your role as this Empress energy. Even if you're in a romantic connection and or you're married, there's your marriage energy, who you are with your family, your loved ones, your community. It's not so much keeping you basically bogged down in that energy. There's also this other energy you give off where you're free spirited. It's just you in your power, passionate, intense, driven, successful. Like, this is how they're seeing you. Now, this doesn't mean that these are things that are actually happening behind the scenes, but this is what people are wondering about you. How are you making your money? What side hustles or creative endeavors do you have? If they know which ones you have, how are you making money from it and how much? How successful is this business? How is the business going? Are there a lot of people that are after you? If so, who? Are you considering any of them? Are these people the ones giving you money that's keeping you looking abundant, even though you have all these responsibilities and burdens that should have you in a position where you're financially struggling and not looking as well put together as you do? How do you not look stressed out? How do you not look overwhelmed? How do you look so well rested? How are you so peaceful and calm, even when you have so much going on in your life? And for most of you, you're doing it alone. Because if these people know others like you that are in a similar position, or if they themselves are, they may not appear in this energy that you do, this energy of grace, sensuality, and attractiveness. They may not appear in this energy of patience and harmony and balance because so much is on their plate, right? And it's kind of draining and exhausting with the Ten of Wands energy. But you give easy going. You give, it is what it is. So even if you go through a lot behind closed doors, people don't see it. It doesn't seem to show. Now, maybe you see it in yourself because you're aware, but based off of what I'm getting, people on the outside, they don't see that. They see somebody that has it all put together. They just are wondering how. Like, how are you making this happen? Because maybe some of these people don't have as much going on in their life or as much responsibility and burdens as you do, and they still are not giving this same energy. They still aren't giving this kind of beautiful balance. They could be very chaotic and overwhelmed and exhausted, um, and they may not have as much going on as you do. Some people may wonder, what is your daily routine? Maybe what is your skincare routine? How are you so attractive? Right? What disciplines do you have? What are you doing that's keeping you looking this youthful, this beautiful? How are you so confident? How are you so assertive? How are you so fearless and bold in your aura, in your energy? How are you balancing this ease, grace, and feminine elegance with this fiery, passionate, bold, confident energy? How are you doing it? How are you finding that ebb and flow? How are you able to embody both at the same time? I do feel, again, like I said, some people wonder, what are you like when you get angry? Right? They're wondering, like, how does your energy come out? How different are you in this Queen of Wands and Seven of Wands than you are when you're in this Empress and Knight of Pentacles? Are you aggressive? Are you a fighter? Do you get loud? Something about your energy suggests that you're not one to cross. Even if people have never seen you get upset, there's something about your aura that gives that you are not really somebody that you want to ruffle your feathers. There's maybe this it could be this sex appeal or this allure, this kind of like a very overwhelming sense of power and authority that you emit, even though you're calm. And maybe that energy of maybe the way you walk, the way you talk, there could be something about your eyes that are very intense, very intimidating. But there's definitely something about you that gives the implication that you can become a fighter, or that you can become a very fierce competitor. Even though you're calm, demure, there's another side to you. And if you've never shown this side, or if you rarely do, people wonder a lot about this kind of dark feminine energy that they seem to be picking up from you, even though you're not showing it. People can sense it. Very interesting. I mean, to me, this feels like people view you in a high light, but some of the things they're wondering, like using people for money based off of your looks, or you having people compete for you and benefiting from it. That doesn't have to be the case. I understand there are people that do that, but again, these are just projections, because maybe these people are viewing you and feeling like if they looked like you, or if they had the kind of power and swag or charisma or sex appeal that you have, if they were turning heads the way that you do, maybe they would use that to their advantage. And that's why they're wondering if you do that. But if you are a homebody, if you are a hermit, people wonder what you do for fun. People wonder if you're dating, if you're entertaining anybody, if you're ever, looking for a emperor. And there are people that desire to come in with the Knight of Pentacles, but your energy is very intimidating. So there may be people that watch and admire you from afar. And as much as they want to come in with this Knight of Pentacles, because they do see you as the Empress with the Seven of Wands, they feel like you're either going to shut them down and reject them harshly, or that there are way too many people already vying for your attention. And I don't know how you feel about that. But some of you may have already picked up on this energy. Yeah. Despite the little stuff here and there, it seems that secretly people view you as very, very, very much of an ideal person. Like, especially the feminines, like you're giving the ideal woman. This is given like lady in the streets, freak in the sheets type of energy to me. Or this is what people are secretly wondering, because they are picking up this kind of two different extremes from you. Yeah, but I'm going to leave it there. And of course, if it resonated on any level, you may feel free to like and subscribe. You can let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you can return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you. Hi, group two. So this is actually a quick additional message about what others may secretly wonder about you that I don't recall mentioning in the reading itself. This is not for most of you. For most of you, the reading itself is what we're going to go over and how it applies to you. But for some of you, if you're in a romantic connection or in a family dynamic of your own, some people may secretly wonder, how do you balance your family life and your dreams and goals, working, career, success, and all of those things, and how you're kind of able to keep that balance without stress or without worries, anxieties, or what have you. Again, for most of you, we go more over how this energy applies to you. But for others of you, this is a quick message that may apply to a couple of you. So now let's go ahead and get into your reading. Welcome to your reading group 2 regarding what do others secretly wonder about you. So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We'll highlight the cards that came through and then we'll go ahead and get into the reading. So the first card out is the Lovers, followed by the Two of Swords, and then we have the Four of Wands, followed by Temperance. And then the final card out is Judgment. Bottom of the deck energy is the Hierophant. So for this group, there are quite a few messages. I feel like I'm getting energy here for some of you where you are single, maybe very much focused on pursuing your dreams and goals. Others of you, I feel like, are currently within a marriage or connection, or you have recently divorced or separated. So it's going to apply different to each of you, but we'll get into it. So, for example, for the single individuals, I do feel like there are people that may wonder if you will ever settle down. Are you ever going to consider or be interested in having a lover in a happy home dynamic? With the Hierophant, something traditional where there's harmony, there's balance, there's passion, there's love. They are more than likely maybe seeing you as a very independent and attractive person and somebody who could have a romantic partner. You could have your pick of a lover, but maybe you just don't have interest in it. Your energy is maybe focused elsewhere. For those of you that are currently within a divorce, or a separation, or you are within a connection that's on kind of on the rocks, I feel like you may come from a traditional background, or people are viewing you as a couple that look very good together. Maybe from their perspective, they've seen you as having a lot of passion, both of you being very physically attractive, very sexy, with the Four of Wands having a very happy home, where there was a lot of bliss and blessings and harmony and prosperity and abundance. And with the Temperance card, they may be wondering if there can be a reconciliation, if there can be kind of a compromise here, meeting in the middle. With the Judgment card, if there can be some sort of healing here, and then this connection can come back together. With the Hierophant, it's about traditional values, traditional norms. So either you're a single person and people wonder if maybe you will ever decide to settle down, if you ever maybe desire companionship. For quite a few of you here, I do feel like maybe there are people who wonder what you're like in a relationship, what you're like in the bedroom, because the Lovers is a very passionate, sexy, enticing type of couple who tends to be very sexually active with one another. So I feel like people may wonder that about you if you're single, and definitely wonder if you ever consider wanting to have something traditional. But others of you, you may have family and friends or people wondering why you decided to walk away from a situation that they seem as very blessed and abundant, a very beautiful couple. I guess a relationship that looked really good on paper. With the Two of Swords, they're seeing it as a difficult decision, or a decision that you're potentially ready to make and they're wondering why, or a decision you've already made and they're wondering if you'll change your mind. Because the Judgment is about a situation of the past and moving forward. And the Temperance card can be a card of reconciliation, compromise, meeting in the middle, and kind of healing and finding harmony and balance within a situation. And then, of course, the Hierophant, very traditional, the societal norms, what is expected of you. So yeah, this one is definitely about romance. Definitely, whether you're single or not, there's something here about wondering why you left a situation or why you don't want a traditional situation. Some of you could be very unconventional. Some of you could be maybe very focused on your spiritual health, your spiritual well-being, your physical health. Some of you could be very focused on your mental health and also your dreams, your goals, and your careers right now. And maybe the people around you feel like you should be more focused on having a family dynamic and maybe giving more energy to a romantic partner or your family situation and less energy to something creative or business pursuit, if you will, that you're pursuing. Because the Two of Swords is about being on the fence, right? And this in this card, the swords are pointing in two directions, trying to make a decision. One is the Lovers, one is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a happy home, but it's also a situation where you receive recognition and success and achievements in your business pursuits, in your creative endeavors. It's about your dreams and goals and reaching a level of abundance and stability and immense prosperity in those areas. So, yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Yeah, judgment, judging or being judged. Yes, some people could be judging you if you've divorced or separated from someone, or if you are not interested in putting a lot of focus on family, your own family, creating a family. Or maybe you're not giving enough to your romantic partner in their eyes, and you're giving too much to, this kind of independent life, this energy of achieving your dreams and goals. There's an energy here being judged, but these people I feel are very traditional. These could be like very old fashioned, old school energies, and they see things from their own perspective. But I don't feel like these people were maybe seeing what's behind the scenes, or they don't see you and have your vision. They're seeing what they personally see for you, and maybe wondering why you don't see that for yourself, or why you're not seeing things from their perspective. But I feel like they don't have as much insight as they think. It's just a matter of wanting the status quo, wanting you to follow the status quo. Again, there could also be a situation where this was something that was very good on paper, or you're a person who would make a very beautiful bride, very handsome groom. You would have a very beautiful home. Like, it's just something about them wanting you to live a life that they themselves see you living, that they themselves would be proud of, or that they can maybe even brag about. Very interesting. But this one I'm not going to drag out. This one is pretty straightforward, actually. There's not a whole lot in terms of messages. There's just a multiple different ways how the energy seems to be coming through. But definitely something about settling down, divorcing someone, staying in a situation, or choosing love over career. And for some of you, it could be all of the above, right? But if that resonated on any level, please feel free to like and subscribe. You can let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you can return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you. Hi, group three. So I really loved the energy that came through in your reading regarding you and how you present to others. But there's one quick message that I wanted to highlight about what others may secretly wonder about you that I don't think I mentioned in the actual reading itself. Your energy comes across as very confident, very secure, somebody that has it all put together, somebody that's very independent and doesn't really need others. And people may wonder if you are really this secure and confident in yourself, if you really have everything taken care of, or do you secretly have fears, doubts, mental health issues, or things that you deal with, struggles behind the scenes that you don't let other people see or that you don't tell anyone else about? So I wanted to mention that just in case I didn't mention it in the reading, because I never want to leave a message out that may be necessary for the topic at hand. But let's go ahead and get into the message itself. Welcome to your reading group three regarding what do others secretly wonder about you? So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We'll go ahead and highlight the 5 cards that came through and then we'll get into the reading. So the first card out is the Eight of Swords followed by the Sun. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles followed by the Seven of Cups. And then the final card out is the Empress. Bottom of the deck energy is the High Priestess. So very interesting energy here. So I feel like for this group, people actually wonder about everything about you. Something about your energy is giving that you're very private, right? With this High Priestess, Eight of Swords, very closed off. I feel like with the Seven of Cups, there's illusions around your financial situation. There's illusions around your dating life. I feel like people view you as the Empress, so people see you as very attractive, somebody who would be the ideal parent, ideal spouse. But again, it's giving that maybe you are somebody with this High Priestess that's unattainable. So there's an energy here where you give the vibe that you're very happily single. If you are a parent or you're a caretaker or somebody relies on you, they're seeing you as somebody who kind of manages your responsibilities on your own, and you do so in a very graceful way, kind of similar to one, but also very different. With the Nine of Pentacles, this is the self. This is an independence. This is where you have achieved the ability, or basically you have come into the ability of providing for yourself and those around you. With the Sun card, happiness, there's joy, there's clarity, there's prosperity, there's abundance. This is you basically being able to enjoy the finer things in life, or being able to manage your responsibilities and your livelihood without having to ask anyone for anything. But with the Seven of Cups and going into the Empress, the Seven of Cups can be illusions, right? The Empress is very abundant as well, very happy, very stable. She doesn't really want or need for anything. But people are wondering with this Eight of Swords, perhaps for some of you, are you secretly unhappy? Some people may wonder again, with you being so closed off, if you are somebody that does spend a lot of time alone, you don't really give the impression you're interested in dating or that you are dating. People wonder if you're secretly with the Sun card happy, or are you secretly in the Eight of Swords energy? Right? Are you secretly somebody that behind closed doors, you struggle with your responsibilities? You struggle with maintaining your own level of independence and happiness? Do you secretly struggle and deal with mental health issues because you're alone, or are you alone because you're dealing with mental health issues? There's a lot of energy about maybe do you secretly date others? Are you having options with this Seven of Cups? Suitors who you are secretly vetting to be the emperor to your empress? Some people may wonder if you ever kind of think to yourself that you desire, or do you secretly want a romantic partner? Or again, are you happily single? But I feel like for this group, there's this vibe about you where you could be very closed lip about anything that you deal with behind closed doors. The high priestess is very guarded and protected. This is somebody that has a lot of inner wisdom, a lot of knowledge. This is somebody that keeps everything close to her chest, and she keeps people at a distance. You cannot see anything when you're dealing with the high priestess energy. This is somebody that works on themselves. They're very spiritually inclined. This is a healed person. But with the Eight of Swords, this is an energy of somebody that is having mental and emotional struggles, somebody that is maybe dealing with a lot of mental anguish. Whereas with the high priestess, this is somebody that has overcome that. So you could give the energy that you have healed and transformed a lot of things. People may know that you've overcome a lot, or they may have insight into a lot that you've dealt with, that you've had to heal from. And people are wondering if you've actually found your sun energy, your joy, because again, you're on your own. And some people, to some people, they don't see how anyone can be happy by themselves, right? Unfortunately, that's how a lot of people are these in this day and age. But your energy gives that you're happy, right? With this self, with the nine being the self card and the high priestess energy, it gives that you're happy. The empress, it gives that you're comfortable being the empress and emperor to yourself. Especially for those of you that are parents, people wonder if you are really happy as a parent. Are you, is this energy of free flowing and abundance that you kind of exude really the energy that you have? Is it really this easy for you? Because maybe you don't complain about your struggles. Maybe you don't complain about the things that you struggle with behind closed doors. It's like you deal with this Eight of Swords energy, this Seven of Cups energy on your own. Anything that you struggle with, it's like, again, with the High Priestess, it's almost like you keep it between you and God, the divine, the universe, whatever you believe in. So it's like you would rather rely on you and spirit than rely on anyone else. And this kind of keeps people out of your business. It keeps people from knowing what is actually going on behind the scenes. So again, the energy here is that you are single. You're not somebody that dates often, or again, they're seeing you as somebody who would have a lot of suitors, right? But you being uninterested. The high priestess is unattainable. She's not interested in dating. She's very much operating in this energy of pouring into herself and her own inner wisdom and guidance. But they're seeing you as an empress and wondering, why would you not want to date? Why would you not want to have an emperor? Because they're seeing you as this ideal divine feminine energy. And some people may think to themselves, if I had, these looks, because the empress is beautiful, she's sensual, she's caring, she's loving, she's nurturing, she's the whole nine yards. This is the ideal counterpart with the empress. But you operate in a high priestess. It's almost like they see you as somebody who brings so much to the table. And you could maybe have your pick with the Seven of Cups, all these different choices. You could have your pick of a partner, but again, you don't want it. Yeah, you don't want it. And again, I do feel like for some of you, if you are in a romantic connection, or if you're married, which I'm not getting for most of you, but if there are any of you that are, people may view you and wonder if you're actually happy in your connection, or do you desire to be in this high priestess energy? Do you desire to kind of be on your own and independent in this nine of pentacles? Is that your real happiness? Or are you operating in this illusion with the Seven of Cups as being the Empress, as really being happy in this connection. So it's going to be different for each of you, but for most of you, this gives a very happily single, joyous, private, thriving type of person. But people don't know how you are managing this. People don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So they don't know if you're actually happy. Because these may be people, again, that are not happy by themselves. These may be people who don't have a sense of independence or find joy and bliss, which is sitting in solitude or entertaining themselves. So they may question, how can you do this? They, again, you are too, in their mind, you're too attractive and you have too many benefits that come with you to stay single. Some people may wonder if you practice witchcraft, right? With the high priestess, maybe some of these people know you're into like astrology, tarot, or you may give the energy of, again, very alluring, it's like a mysterious energy around you that could kind of give woo woo, right? Like somebody who does practice, witchcraft, or somebody who does dabble with the occult. And maybe some people may wonder about that. But again, with the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of illusions around you. There's a lot of questions around you. Your energy, I feel like you may have a lot of people who like to watch you, they like to study you. It almost feels like your energy gives somebody that would be, other people would want to investigate, right? Not in a very dramatic way for the most part, but the energy of where people may talk about you a lot. This is kind of giving me star power, right? Part one gave star power, even though I didn't mention it, but this gives definite star power. Like somebody that is like, mind you, the Empress is a ruler, right? A ruler over an empire or a hierarchy. But with the high priestess, it's like people see this kind of big, very attractive, very abundant. Again, the sun is the brightest light in the world. Something about your energy gives magnetic and alluring. Something about your energy gives somebody that is a star, somebody that should be very social with a large group of people around them, or a harem of people that they pick from to date. Something about your energy gives that you should be wanting to be around other people and wanting to thrive, because your energy gives very much somebody who should be popular, somebody who should be very admired, somebody that other people may desire to be close to, but you keep people at a distance. So these could be people that do desire to be closer to you. They do desire to be in your energy, to kind of be experience this sun energy about being around you. Like your energy gives that maybe being around you revitalizes others, right? There's a lot of wisdom you have. Maybe some of these people want access to that wisdom. They may learn a lot from you, or they may see you as somebody with a lot of insight and who has healed and transformed, but you keep this to yourself and what you've learned. And some of these people may want access to this. Maybe if you are financially abundant, people want access to, how are you being able to manage these finances? How are you being able to be this caretaker, deal with your own mental health issues, or be happy and abundant, and you're alone and you don't rely on anyone and you keep things to yourself? How are you doing this? How are you not shining openly and allowing all these people to have access to you? Some people could think, which this did come up in pile one, but obviously this energy is very different to me. But I do feel like with that Nine of Pentacles and that Seven of Cups and Empress, some people may wonder if you have suitors with this Seven of Cups that actually benefit you, right? That give you money, that take care of you, that send you on trips, that spoil you. And if maybe with this high priestess, you keep this part of your life hidden, like you give the illusion that you're not dating and you're kind of closed off and you're very independent and doing things on your own, but secretly you have these Seven of Cups people who are desiring to be your emperor, for example, who are desiring to be with you, and these people are funding you with the Nine of Pentacles, because Nine of Pentacles is about comfort. It's about feeling spoiled, but usually spoiling yourself. But people wonder if you're actually doing this on your own, or if there's secretly people that are vying for you and they're giving to you and feeding and fueling into this abundance that you have because of how attractive you are, because of how alluring and sensual you are. Yeah, there's a lot. I feel like people wonder a lot about you. They wonder about everything about you, because I don't feel like a lot of these people, even whether these are strangers or people that know you, they don't really know what happens behind closed doors. And your happiness, your joy, your peace, your healing energy, your financial abundance, the ability to take care of yourself and those around you, this energy of being very independent and happy in this kind of Empress energy without the Emperor, it leaves much to question to these people. Because if they know people like you, or people that's has similar dynamics, or if these are people that have similar dynamics to you, they may not be able to look so graceful, right? After going through all of this. There could be a romantic connection that you ended with this Eight of Swords from the past, that they're wondering, how have you found happiness after this? How have you healed in this High Priestess energy after this? How have you become so comfortable and moved on so quickly? Why are you not choosing a new suitor? Maybe they wonder if, for some of you, if you have left a partner in the past who was not good for you, they may wonder if you ever think about this person, if you ever consider the choice of being with this person again as their empress. Yeah, this group is very, again, your energy gives me star power, but this is somebody who is seen and draws a lot of attention, but it's like you don't want it, right? It's like, again, there's this kind of, the high priestess always gives me the energy of somebody very alluring, right? She's the energy of somebody that to me is very magnetizing because she's so closed off, but she has so much within, but it's hidden. And people always want access to what they don't know, what they can't see, and that draws in attention. And then with you showing up also as the empress, this means that you're also physically attractive or alluring, sensual, somebody that is the ideal feminine archetype, right? But again, with the high priestess, it's almost like people may feel you're not utilizing the power that you possess. People may feel like you're not capitalizing on everything that they feel you have that could be potential to you. Like you're not dating enough, and you should be, because there are people that want you, or I could see why people would want you, right? They may feel like with this sun energy and this Nine of Pentacles, maybe these people feel like you could, for some of you, be a famous celebrity or influencer or something, but you stay hidden. Maybe they see you as somebody who could be enjoying and thriving within a social group, and you could be the popular person that reaps the rewards of being the center of attention, but you're not interested in it. And they wonder why. And people may think that the reason why is because with this Eight of Swords, you secretly are to yourself and closed off because you're struggling mentally and emotionally. With this Eight of Swords, Seven of Cups, your happiness is an illusion. Being on your own is an illusion. Being happy on your own is an illusion to these people. They may think that in reality you secretly are closed off because you're struggling. Some of these people may think you have coping mechanisms, because the devil energy did show itself with the Ace of Wands. So some people, for some of you, may wonder if you have addictions or escapist tendencies that you keep hidden. Some of them may wonder if you have secret rendezvous with that Eight of Wands devil energy, where you kind of say to yourself, but maybe you have suitors that you, or a specific person that's like a sneaky link. Yeah, there's a lot of questions around you. I will say that there's a lot of wonder around you. And the more that you leave to the imagination, the more I feel drawn in people are to your energy, because your energy shines very bright and it stands out. It's very alluring, like I said, but you're very closed off and independent and solo dolo. And this draws people in. I feel like if for this group, if you were to ever kind of maybe put yourself out there to some degree, I'm not saying you should, everybody's different, but I feel like for this group, if you were to ever like become famous or put yourself out there on some sort of platform, you would potentially grow very fast, or you would end up with maybe over time a very dedicated, very intense and loyal fan base. Because even without trying, you draw in attention, you draw in energy. People want to feed off of you, which is not necessarily always a good thing. And I feel like that could be why you are so private and closed off, because people like to feed off of your energy. People benefit from being around you. But now that you've taken your energy back, or you're closed off, it kind of makes people um, in a sense yearn or even fiend for this energy. Some people could have codependence on you in the past, for example. Some people could have benefited so much from your energy that now that they don't have it, they are losing life force. They're not able to operate in this sun energy. With this Eight of Swords, some of these people could be dealing with mental health issues because you pulled your energy back. And this is them wanting and desiring to be closer to you, to have more access to you, to benefit from this wisdom, this joy, this happiness, this abundance that you bring to the table. Some of you could have been at a point where you were very much investing in others financially, being generous. This could have been you bringing joy to other people's life. But I feel like these people drained you, and now you keep all of this for yourself. I like this energy. I really do. I really, really do. But I am going to leave it there. And of course, if it resonated on any level, please feel free to like and subscribe. You can let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you.